Australian audio brand Rode is well established in the video production world, having made a name for itself with its accessible, high-value microphones. Now they've released what they claim is the most powerful compact microphone system ever, the Rode Wireless Pro. Boasting features like gain assist, 32-bit float recording, and transmitters with 32GB of internal memory, the Wireless Pro aims to make obtaining professional quality audio for your videos as efficient and worry-free as possible. In essence, the Rode Wireless Pro is a dual-channel, all-in-one wireless microphone kit that arrives in two black zip-up cases. One is a charging case that houses the receiver and two wireless transmitters, and the second case is packed to the brim with quality accessories, including two locking Rode lavalier extension microphones, a 3.5mm TRS audio cable, both USB-C and Lightning connection cables, windscreens, various coloured clips, and magnetic attachment clips that can be used with the transmitters. Talk about options! Unlike other wireless mics, we have a complete feature-rich package here and makes the initial cost seem well worth it. Sticking with the main unit though, I really do like this smart charging case. Not only does the case protect the transmitters and receiver when not in use, it also ensures they are always fully charged by providing an extra 14 hours of charging, and that's above the 7 hours each unit itself has. What's even smarter is that the same case facilitates ultra-fast data transfer via the single USB-C port on the rear for quickly exporting onboard recordings to a computer in the studio or in the field, or for connecting to the Rode Central app for charging, updating and making settings changes. So while the units dock inside the case, paired and ready to go, they'll automatically turn on when you pull the transmitters and receivers out. This is a nice feature as it gets you going quickly. You can even set the transmitters to record when powered on automatically. Note though, they do dock particularly well, a bit too well actually, meaning they need quite a tug in order to release. It's a little awkward too, since naturally you'll grip from the top and bottom to release, but have to take care not to accidentally press buttons at the same time. Saying that, talking of how they sit, they aren't level and flush with each other either. The receivers sit slightly further up and closer to one transmitter. Not a problem as such, just more a case of my OCD getting the better of me, I guess. Anyways, when you do get them out, as mentioned, all units automatically power up and are paired and ready to go. The receiver incorporates a clear display that shows you battery life information, which recording mode you have engaged, and the connection status of your transmitters. Two physical navigation buttons are located at the bottom of the receiver and a single multifunctional button up top, which can all be used to navigate and change settings through the various menus. This does take some getting used to and is certainly not on par with the touchscreen abilities of the DJI Mic 2 for instance, far from it, but even so, settings can be changed on a computer, thanks to the built-in USB-C port or even a smartphone too, which makes things much easier. Otherwise, a 3.5mm jack is all that remains and can be used for either sending audio out to your camera or for headphone monitoring. The transmitters are a similar size and shape, albeit with no screen of course, but with some status LEDs instead. The solid blue light indicates connection, and a red light indicates whether internal recording is engaged, with a final battery status indicator at the very bottom. Otherwise, alongside another multifunctional button, this time on the bottom, and a single USB-C port on the side, you'll find the microphone, manual record button, and the lav mic input along the top of each unit. Each transmitter also includes the ability to record backup audio in full 32-bit float using the single record button on the device, directly into its 32GB of onboard memory, which is the highest I've come across in any wireless microphone system to date and should provide ample space for many hours of audio capture. The furry windscreens are also included and come in handy if you plan to record outdoors in breezy conditions. These pop and twist into place and I've personally had no issue with them coming loose at all. While you can attach the transmitter to your shirt with the built-in clip, or the magnet clip attachment, which I must add are rather strong so quite secure, they aren't particularly discreet. Firstly, they're quite a bit larger and heavier than the more compact DJI Mic 2, but more importantly, that size does make them more of a distraction when attached to your talent. And that's all while you hope you don't get any light bouncing off that glossy finish and straight down your lens. A more traditional style microphone handle is available for interviews, but this is really where the locking lav mics come in, and Rode are really good at their lav mic technology. You'll find 2 in the accessory pack, one for each transmitter of course, and they use a screw-on connection to lock into place too, making sure there's no way for them to come loose mid-shoot. So with this setup, you can hide the transmitter in your pocket and wire up your guest the traditional way with a smaller, less noticeable microphone. Yes, you do still get the Rode lettering that sticks out a little, but it's much less noticeable than the full transmitter, and the capture quality is exceptional, which we'll come to in just a moment. Again, windscreens are provided, but again they don't clip into place, so care should be taken they don't fall off when routing this up under clothing for instance. When it comes to using the system, the Rode Wireless Pro receiver slides into place on any cold shoe mount pretty easily, and connects to the camera via the provided 3.5mm cable, or USB-C if your camera supports it. Nothing new there. While it is of course completely usable as it is, note that you have to physically look down from above to check audio levels. I guess you could tilt the screen upwards and hence look down on both, but even so, the DJI Mic 2 has these cracked and is more streamlined in this regard. You can use the provided USB-C or lightning cables to connect to your smartphone too for clear audio capture. Again, you still have that issue of having to look down from above for audio levels, but otherwise it works pretty well. While you can of course connect the Wireless Pro to a computer and use it as a standard wireless audio interface, be it for video calls, meetings or anything for that matter, the Rode Central Companion app, available on both Windows and Mac platforms, is essential for using the Wireless Pro. Once installed, connecting a loaded charging case will let you configure further receiver and transmitter settings. Select the receiver to adjust your routing, gain mode, where the gain assist feature can be switched on, which automatically controls the microphone levels to ensure they are perfectly balanced. There's time code and frame rate settings here too. When it comes to the transmitter, we can modify settings like file format and sample rate or activate 32-bit float recording. There are a lot of settings to really tailor how you want to use the system, and it does work rather well in getting the system prepared before use. More importantly, the software is where you also find audio files recorded internally to the transmitter available for export. One point to note is while you can directly connect a transmitter to a computer to offload recorded files, which come up as a standard external drive so it's very handy in a pinch, it will be in a read-only mode. You can't actually delete recorded files once you've copied them across. You can only actually do that via the software interface, and for a task as simple as that, it's a bit of a chore. Even then, you can't delete individual files either, so it's all or nothing, which is a bit of a bummer. Note though that the Rode Central software is also available in the form of a smartphone app too, albeit at a more basic level. So you can use this to connect the charging case in order to access and control aspects of the receiver and both transmitters in a pinch. A handy little addition, especially when out in the field with limited access to your computer. So here we have an audio test of the Rode Wireless Pro. As you can see, I've got the microphone mounted to me at chest level just here. Size does look a little bit distracting. Fortunately, you can switch the lights off in the Rode Wireless Pro settings, and that makes it a little less obvious, but the size of it is still quite a distraction. It's also got that glossy finish, which you want to make sure you haven't got any light bouncing off of that finish and straight down the lens. I much rather prefer the lavalier microphone option though, so let's give that one a shot. Okay, so a quick test with the lavalier microphone, which I've got connected to me just here. It looks much more nicer, much more sleek and professional. The audio quality is just as good, nice, crisp, clear. It's slightly more bassier, but I actually quite like that. But otherwise, it's nice and crisp and clear, no issues at all. Now, you do have the transmitter separate, which I can now clip onto my belt or somewhere, but you do want to keep it in direct line of sight with the actual receiver. Even your body in between can be an issue at the full 260-meter range, which is quite a distance to be fair, but otherwise all works really well. The Wireless Pro then comes with everything you need to record broadcast grade wireless audio, including a smart charging case, a pair of lavalier microphones, windshields, magnetic clips, and all necessary cables for plugging into your devices. All come together providing the ability to capture audio in different modes, even timecode should your camera support it. We've literally just touched the basics in this review. Rode clearly put a lot of effort into adding a lot of features into a tiny wireless audio system at an incredibly affordable price. That alone deserves a round of applause. You'd need to weigh up the pros and cons of the design and whether it works for you though, but when it comes to usability, the sheer number of settings and options, and especially overall performance, it's certainly hard to beat.